Court proceedings were cut short today because Najib's lawyer had the flu. Nevertheless, lawyers on both sides made the most of the morning, arguing over whether or not an expert witness should be called in to verify the authenticity of Najib's signatures, which the ex-PM had claimed were forgeries. By the Malaysian Insight, this is The People versus Najib Razak. Follow us into the courtroom where it all happens. I'm Patrick Teo. After a week's break, Najib arrived at a quiet court lobby. The supporters who usually waited to greet the former PM as his car pulls up were nowhere to be seen. With no one to stop and chat with, Najib, today dressed in a black suit and matching tie, made his way up to Judge Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali's courtroom where he waited for proceedings to begin. It was the ex-Prime Minister's 69th day on trial for allegedly misappropriating some 42 million ringgit of SRC International's funds. SRC was a subsidiary of 1MDB. Over the past 3 weeks, Najib has been on the witness stand, testifying in his own defense. However, this morning, he went to his seat in the accused dock as his lawyers had a submission to make. If you remember, Najib's lawyers have been pushing for a handwriting expert to verify the legitimacy of some documents which bore Najib's signature. Some of the documents were pertaining to the movement of funds out of SRC, which eventually made their way into Najib's personal bank accounts. Najib had told the court that he hadn't signed those documents, this despite having earlier told the MACC otherwise, and that he suspects his signature had been forged. The defense team already had a specific handwriting expert in mind, one Dr. Stephen from Australia. In fact, his lawyers said they had taken liberties to obtain a preliminary report from this Dr. Stephen, a report which stated that his examination cannot be accurate unless he was allowed to see the original documents for himself. Besides, defense lawyer Havinderjit Singh argued half the things which were discovered during the trial were not told beforehand to the defense. Is your lordship really convinced that the signatures are authentic? Harvey asked the judge. All we're asking for is some evidence to assist your lordship, he added, concluding his submission. The defense is asking the court to review evidence as an afterthought and on very flimsy and unsubstantiated grounds, Prosecutor V. Sitambaram countered. He said that the prosecution's case was based on direct evidence. Najib had stated that the documents were signed by him and never complained to the MACC if he thought they were forgeries. He said that the defense's request for an expert witness was a tactical move to put the prosecution at a disadvantage when the latter had already closed its case. It puts us in a disadvantage that we cannot come out from, Sitam said, adding that the defense had every opportunity to show that these documents were forgeries during the prosecution stage. After Sitambaram had given the prosecution submissions, Havinderjit stood up to ask Judge Nazlan if the court could adjourn for the day. He was down with the flu, he said. The judge granted this request and ordered for the trial to resume tomorrow morning. He also said that he will make a decision on the expert witness then. This podcast is produced, written and mixed by Revati Subramaniam, Yapik Kwan and Yvonne Lim. I'm Patrick Teo.